While many dogs are living longer, like people, many are dying prematurely from chronic disease. So what is the secret to ensuring our canine companions live as long and as healthy as possible?
I'm super excited to be joined by Rodney Habib, founder of Planet Paws and co-author of The Forever Dog, to share some of those secrets. Now, Rodney, of course, we know that dogs aren't going to live forever, but what is it that you and Dr. Karen are trying to share with us through your book?
Well, it's such a great question. It's a tragedy that they can't be with us forever. But ultimately, we really wanted to highlight longevity, how to increase longevity, because we know that living well is health span and living longer is lifespan, and you need an equal balance of both. And today, with the way that the world is working, we know that we live in a more toxic world than we ever have, and we're watching disease rates escalate like we can. We wanted to break it down for pet parents, things that they might not be aware of, so they don't really have to live in the regret.
That's right. And, our pet's health really is reflecting our own. What is it that we're seeing?
Well, we're seeing an exact mirror. It's like we're looking in the mirror today. I mean, they live with us. They live within our environment. In fact, scientists today are actually analyzing dogs and cats to see the toxicity in human homes because they spend more time at home than we do, right? We're out and about, and our dogs and our cats live in that environment day in and day out. We're watching obesity rates go up, mirroring human obesity, 50% or more. Cancer rates. We know the cancer rate today in people, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women, more than 1 in 2 dogs, according to veterinarians today. We're seeing diseases like dysbiosis, something that we've never talked about before, like leaky gut. How many people and pets are constantly on these chronic rounds of antibiotics and the damage that's being done to the microbiome? They mirror today all of our diseases.
So what are the barriers for a long and healthy life for our dogs?
Yeah, look, there's 4 big factors, Lara, and we had to break it down into the book in what we call the DOGS strategy. Diet, we know, is hugely important. According to the Broad Institute, 40% of diet really pertains to longevity, but it doesn't just fall on diet. Optimal movement, exercise. How important is exercise? Some of these long-lived dogs that we've spoken to, these dogs that were like 27, these dogs that even reached to be 30, were getting a ton of exercise. Genetics. We know genetics plays a huge role when it comes to longevity. But last but not least, and the most important, the one that really got me was stress. And I'm not talking just about daily stress, like your day-to-day emotional stress. That plays a huge role. But then there's also physical stress. There's environmental stressors, which is really important, something that people don't take into consideration. What is the environment that I'm putting around my pet?
That's right, all those chemicals and everything as well that people use and don't think about. So I've said here, what are your 3 top tips? You've probably covered the 4 points there. Can you sum them up in 3?
The 3 big ones, of course, that come to mind, and this is basically how we even open up the book. First and foremost, eat less. One of the greatest studies of all time, which showed that when you fed dogs less, this was a golden retriever study that was done, they lived on average a year to a year and a half longer over a lifetime study, 25% longer when fed a little less. The second big one, eat fresher. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? We know that in human nutrition sciences, you're always told, eat more fresh, eat less ultra-processed food. Unfortunately, in the pet space, animal nutrition scientists, it's a little bit upside down, right? And then last but not least, move more and more often.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Rodney.
Thanks so much for having me, and here's to your Forever Dogs.
Yes, thank you.
To find out more about the Forever Dog book, visit foreverdog.com, and to learn about the benefits of feeding your dog a fresh raw food diet, visit bigdogpetfoods.com.